Hello and welcome to the Dinosaw for week 8, another 7 curious, interesting things I saw last week, so as ever, let's crack on. First one is news from Ronnie Bandini, what a great name. This is the Reggaeton Be Gone. Now if you don't know what reggaeton is, it's that music you hear pumping out of Spanish bars or anything with a sort of Latin lilt that is kind of samey, a bit irritating. Ronnie doesn't like that music, and he's created this device. So it uses a Raspberry Pi. He's trained it on little snippets of the music to recognize that. So he's got an AI model that will listen to the music, and then when it hears the music, it then blurts out some Bluetooth noise basically and destabilizes the Bluetooth signal. So if it's being played out on a Bluetooth speaker, then it starts to become garbled. If it's in a bar or somebody's playing it in the street, I guess, or in their hotel or in their apartment, then all of a sudden it'll start to be annoying. They might either turn it off, they might move on, or they might just, change the channel or whatever, and then in which case you can turn it off because it's not recognized. So is this the height or the next level of intolerance to other people, or is this just reclaiming clubs and bars without that annoying music going on? There you go. I like that one. Well done, Ronnie. This one is news from ElevenLabs, and it's hot on the heels of Sora, which was OpenAI's new video generation, which is what you're seeing. Now if I'm quiet, all of that is generated through AI, just through a text prompt. So obviously you can imagine videos like this, you can then just go, well, give me, coast, or give me a birthday party, or give me some dogs playing in the snow, and it will generate the audio background for that. Now, it's not brilliant. If you're into sound engineering, it's all over the place and it's just not nice. However, for most people, it's probably good enough, and that's probably a phrase we'll hear more and more. There you go. There's not a lot of detail about this. You can sign up to it on their website and they will probably give you access to a demo at some point. But there you go. I guess that everybody's riding on the back of the Sora announcement. Really interesting story. This is Benn Jordan, and I've featured Benn Jordan a few times because he did a really interesting piece on Spotify and how potentially you could use Spotify's model for generating illicit funds, should we say. Now, out of nowhere, and bear in mind, Ben does product reviews and he does hardware and how to do music and that sort of thing. Just a normal YouTuber, just a normal musician. He's been doing music for a long time. All his albums are online. He did that video about Spotify, and strangely, he then got accused from Spotify for streaming fraud. His publisher, TuneCore, then said, yes, we've received this complaint and we've done some internal stuff as well, and we can ratify that complaint, and therefore we're going to take all of your music from ever off every single platform. That includes Deezer, iTunes, Apple Music, everything. So his entire earning potential from 2007 onwards, pretty much 47 albums, or I think something like 20 something albums were actually on the streaming platforms, have disappeared. So he's then created a site, and if you want every single one of them, he's done a ginormous zip file essentially where you can download everything and you just give him whatever you want, just as a bit of a backlash. Now in response, he's then said, look, here's the streams. These are the bumps you're seeing in the bottom right hand corner, and there's nothing unusual about that. So I don't know what this streaming fraud is. So really interesting story that's evolving. Not really sure what's going on there, but certainly sounds like there's something iffy going on. Stable Diffusion 3 was launched. So Stable Diffusion is what, or it uses, let's just say, diffusion models are what you use generally to create images using AI. Stable Diffusion by Stability AI is one of the forerunners in creating images, a little bit like DALL-E, for instance. So what's big in this new release? Well, we don't really know. They didn't really say much about it, but it can do words, which has always been an issue with these sorts of things. You couldn't really do logos, or you couldn't really do your name because it got it wrong. Or you couldn't put adverts, for instance, together with text. It can also do multi-object and multi-concept. So if you wanted, for instance, a pig in a tutu with a spaceman on it and a pink umbrella and a robin if you wanted all of that, it can kind of figure all that stuff out. So it can have multiple concepts and objects within the same image. So, and also the images are higher quality as well. So there you go. Again, if you want to sign up to the demo of this, or at least get first release, you can do on their website. Link down below. This is Harold Halibut. Now this is a game. What you're seeing is not some sort of Wes Anderson film. This is actually a handcrafted game. So the way they're doing it is they're creating all the handcrafted characters and the sets by hand. scanning them in and then reanimating them with motion capture. So it has this amazing handcrafted stop motion look to it, but you can then explore this amazing world. So there's a story behind it, and Harold Halibut is a research assistant, and they're on a big spaceship that's gone to another planet, and it's submerged under the water, and he's trying to find his way home, but befriends the fish people, etc., etc. So it's really, really interesting. There's supposed to be, it's just said 2024. There's a demo you can actually download on Steam if you're interested, but you need a PC to do that. Other than that, just really waiting for this to come out to see the full thing. It looks absolutely stunning. And it's just that sort of where everything is AI, everything is looking computery in the future. It's beautiful to have this kind of hand motion with a game. This is a brilliant hardware hack, or shall I say it's a worrying hardware hack. This has a three-pronged attack. Now, this is researchers at Florida. There is a paper down below if you want to read the full details of it. But what they've done is they've said, you know those charge pads where you charge your phone wirelessly? Well, those have a communication protocol called Key, and you can't really mess around with that. And therefore, it stops your phone charging and all that sort of good stuff. But they figured out if you put the power adapter into the key charger or the wireless charger, you can then interrupt it from that point. So with a compromised charging adapter, you can then do all sorts of things. The three main things they're doing is they're causing phones basically to overheat by just not telling it to stop. It can even cause your phone to burst into flames. The second thing they can do is they can talk to voice assistants, so things like Amazon Alexa, for instance, using inaudible sounds, and they can start doing all sorts of stuff. And what they can also do is normally when you put something that isn't a device on top of the charger, it won't do anything, and they can bypass that. So we can heat up things like paper clips, and what they're therefore planning, or what their implication was, if you can then burn a document that may be sensitive, or maybe you can a USB key or something, or a car key or something like that, you can then heat those up and destroy them. So there might be important data that you want to actually destroy in an office, in which case, as long as you can compromise the power adapter, you can start destroying data remotely. So interesting hack. Apparently it works on everything they tried. So that probably needs to be a loophole somebody closes. And finally, my favorite video of the week. This is Rock Band from the US, Small Town Titans, and Will It Riff. So what they do is they get products, and they get promotional stuff as well. They look at the barcode, they scan the barcode, and they, for instance, Heinz ketchup 137350 is the number. And what they then do is they then turn that into music just by using the numbers, and they then play it and say, does it sound like it can riff? Is it pretty hardcore? And they all give it a bit of a... Now, Heinz ketchup actually is pretty cool, does actually riff, so confirmed. Some other videos on their website, definitely worth a look. It's just a bit silly, but kind of interesting as well. I just love how people can find these sort of technology nonsense and then mix them with reality. Nicely done. Hopefully that was interesting, hopefully it was useful. If it was, give it a like, give it a share, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next week.